Now what is node affinity and anti-affinity? Node affinity and anti-affinity give us great control regarding on which node pod will be launched based on node labels. It supports two type of rule. One is required during scheduling, ignored during execution. This is hard rule. That means it must be satisfied because required term is there. Then we have got another rule, preferred during scheduling, ignored during execution. This is soft rule, good if it can be satisfied but can be ignored. So two type of rules are there, and in our case we have already labeled our nodes worker 1 and worker 2. So now we are going to test our required node affinity. That means how we are going to ensure that required node affinity. So for that case, what we are going to do, we are creating example 1, cat ex1 mean example 1. So API version is v1. We are creating kind of object pod. So we are specifying pod node affinity required. That is the name of our pod. And here we are specifying affinity as a node affinity, and the type chosen is here required during scheduling, ignored during execution. And what we are selecting, node selector terms, match expression mean, and we are selecting that environment operator exists. That mean what we are doing, that if the environment operator exists, then please schedule on that node. That means we have chosen node affinity. The type chosen is required during scheduling, ignored during execution. We are selecting the node where label environment is set. As the environment is set on worker1.example.com, so pod is going to be scheduled in worker1, because in earlier case what we did, we labeled this environment production. So environment variable is set on which system? Worker1. So in this case it is going to schedule on that. And then container, we are that is web container, image nginx web, and container port 80, that we have already covered. So this was the new thing. And how we are going to create kubectl apply -f ex1.yaml. So what it is saying, pod, this pod created with o wide, you can view that it is running, it is ready, and this is the address. And most important, where it got launched, on worker1.example.com, because your label environment is set on your worker1.example.com. And with the kubectl get pod show labels, we can view if there is any label on this pod. So no, that means we are not talking about the labels on the pod, we are talking about labels on the nodes. That means here we are not labeling the pods, we are labeling the nodes. That means on which our loads are running. And we can view the pod events and then delete. So we are saying kubectl describe pod, and with grep events we can view. That means we are saying that please search for the string events, and then after display the 15 lines. So what it is showing, that means scheduled, successfully assigned this pod to worker1.example.com. And this image was already present, so created container web started. And if you are going to go into this directory, now we do not need, so we can delete this pod by using kubectl delete -f ex1.yaml. That means here we are viewing the pod events and then deleting the node. Now we will be looking at testing this preferred node affinity. Now we are taking the example 2. Here again a type of object is your pod, and this is important. This section is almost same in all the example we will be taking. Container is going to be name web, image this, and container pod this. Now look at this, we are saying that affinity, node affinity preferred during scheduling, ignored during, and we are assigning weight 1. And what preference we want? Match expression, key SSD operator exists. So what is the meaning of this? That means we have chosen node affinity. The type chosen is preferred during scheduling and ignored during execution. We are giving weight 1 for preferring the node where label SS is set. That means you can give the weight from 1 to 100. the node where the weight is more, that will be preferred. And where label SSH is set, as the SSH is set on worker2.example.com, so pod should be scheduled on worker2 but can also be scheduled on worker1, because here we have said that preferred. That means it is our desired, it is not our requirement. So most of the time, even in preferred case, it is going to launch according to your will. So when we are going to run this kubectl apply -f this file, so pod gets created, and when we are going to view with the kubectl get pods -o wide, so it is showing that it is running ready, and on which node? Worker2 example.com, because SSH is label is set on which node? Your worker2, so it has launched there. And with the kubectl get pod show label, it is not showing any label. And we can view pod events and delete pod. So again, when we are going to view the events by using this command kubectl describe pods grep events a15, what it is showing? That means it is showing that successfully assigned pod to worker2, image is already present, created container web, started container web. Then what we are going to do? We are going to delete your this pod, and that means we have viewed that pod events and deleted the pod. Now we will see the graphical presentation of these two examples.